I've only burst into sobbing tears twice in the movies. The first one's irrelevant today, but the second one is odd. The recent remake of the movie Lassie. Wasn't a great movie. You probably didn't see it. Almost no one I know saw it. I started to cry so hard that my then 10-year-old was mortified and just was going, "What is wrong with you?" And I wasn't crying because Lassie was lost. That wouldn't make me cry. Weirdly, something in that movie that day got touched off because I don't think the boy's name in the movie was Timmy. I don't even remember. I told you it wasn't a very good movie, but that it was a poor family. And the father promised the son he would not sell the beloved dog Lassie. And yet when the villain came and demanded Lassie, the father relinquished Lassie for money to pay the rent or buy groceries. I don't even remember. What made me sob wasn't the plot line or the acting. What made me sob was the truth of the matter, that when the little boy learned that his trust had been betrayed, that his father had promised he would not sell the beloved dog, in essence taking the boy's heart right out of his body. The father had promised he wouldn't do that, and yet he did. And the boy immediately, almost not even with a pause, said that's okay. And what made me start to cry was how vulnerable children are, no matter what their parents do. No matter what promises the parents break, the kid has to internalize that it's okay because they need that parent to survive. And so whatever that parent is doing, and I know from talking to some of you that your parents have done things that no good parent should ever have done. Whatever that parent does, the child internalizes it and says they're okay. And often what the child does is internalize something about me made them do that. Something about me is what's wrong. Because as painful as it is to believe that there's something about you that's wrong, the feeling of helplessness that comes when you accept that there's nothing you could have said or done to change what occurred is even more painful. That feeling of helplessness, people will run anywhere, and we do, to escape. I think that core vulnerability of childhood is why, for so many of us, the whole notion of vulnerability is something that scares us. Even though we know it's true, we know that we are vulnerable, we do not want to experience it. And yet, for those of us who care for someone who is vulnerable, whether it's a person we love, a person we work with or serve, an animal. Right now I'm caring for my dying, aging, very sick dog. It can bring up such beauty and tenderness. That vulnerability, if we're willing, can call out to us the most tender, the most loving, cherishing parts of ourselves. I was privileged to sit with my mother when she died. I went to her house for about 3 weeks, and I tended to her the way that she tended to me as a baby. And let me just say, in case you think I come from Walton's Mountain, that this was not an easy relationship. I had spent a couple of years, because she died slowly, really working out my sorrow, regret, anger at all the ways my mother did not care well for me. But when she was dying, I was able to sit by her side and care for her. And the beautiful thing was she let me. She didn't resist. I was touching her everywhere on her body. I was holding her. I was feeding her. She called me, she said she was my baby bird because I would use an eyedropper and just give her little drops of water at the end when she couldn't eat, as she literally wasted away from cancer. That moment, those 3 weeks, were one of the most beautiful times of my life that I wouldn't trade for anything. My siblings did not want to be there. I kept expecting one of them to say, "Hey, move over, it's my turn. How come you get all this good stuff?" But what they kept saying was, "Oh, that's great that you're doing that. It's really wonderful that you want to do that. They didn't want to be there. We can't always be there, and of course it was great for me that they didn't want to be there because it meant I could. And they were there in different ways. We all pitched in, but it was one of the most blessed occasions of my life to be able to be there for my mother. And what I found myself wondering as I was with her was, when it's my time to let go, will I show this same graceful acceptance of my vulnerability? Will I let people who love me care for me so tenderly as if I were an infant? Will I be able to be kind and sweet the way that she was? She was on morphine. I might do drugs, but you know, she was sweet. She was very sweet about it, and I want to be there. All of the literature says we die as we live. So I feel like as I'm alive, it's a really important thing for me to learn how to be more vulnerable. Even though I don't want to remember what it was like to be a kid and to be vulnerable there. So it's that dance of knowing that my strength, my gratitude, my grace lives in accepting the truth of my vulnerability and the tension of my terror and my memory and my resistance about the helplessness that came with that early vulnerability. I think it's always important to remember that for most of us, we're not there anymore. We're not those vulnerable children anymore. We get to make choices. We get to decide things. We get to be in the driver's seat. That doesn't take away our vulnerability. In a way, it drives us right to it. We're not in the same helplessness as an infant who's dependent on those around him or her for every single thing. And so this month, as we explore the theme of vulnerability, I invite you to lean into your learning about it while always reminding yourself that you're not that child anymore. Look for the gratitude in vulnerability. Look for the grace that's there. Look for what you can learn about living wholeheartedly, being transparent, being accessible to other people. But don't go to the vulnerability where you feel scared and helpless. That's not helpful. That's not life-giving for any of us. We'll be playing around with the different kinds of vulnerability and the strength and the ultimate meaning to be found in it. As we do, I will love to learn what you know about this and to benefit from your wisdom.